you've had a few days of practice now as you guys trying to arrest your losing streak. So what have you seen from your team over the course of this practice?
Well, we've tried to work on a couple of things, some details in our game, but the biggest thing that I've seen is our energy level was really good. Monday and Wednesday here at practice, it was good, and that's good to see because sometimes that when you lose a few games in a row like that, the energy is not as good as it is on a usual basis. So I thought it was real good energy level, and we worked on some system stuff that we should clean up, and I think we've had 2 great days of practice.
Obviously, the playoffs are still a ways away, but you have to start to think about them when you're in this sort of where you guys are positioned in the standings. You have an opportunity, I think, 11 straight against divisional opponents. So is that kind of on the forefront of these guys' brains to, you need to start making hay and stringing some wins together?
Yeah, that's very true, and we've talked about that with the group. We've talked about that probably a couple weeks ago, actually. It's. When you're sitting at the bottom of the pile there looking up, it's you want to make sure that you beat your divisional opponents, and you want to make sure that you take it game by game and try to climb back up the ladder. It's very doable, and we need to keep that in sight and in the back of our minds. But right now, we want to go out and win a hockey game.
Villahinola probably wants to be up in the NHL, but right now circumstances say he's here in the AHL. What did you see from him in the first game with you guys in Laval? And just from a general perspective, his attitude of being back with the Moose?
Well, his attitude's always great, so we don't worry about that too much. Every time he comes back, his attitude is great, and he's ready to go to work. What I saw in his first game was surprising. Actually, I thought he was excellent. I thought his pace was up and his execution was real good. So it was kind of surprising for me, actually, for someone that's been out for 3 months. But he's worked real hard, during his rehab, and he looked great.
Players obviously missing from the lineup today or from the last couple of practices. Chaz Lucius, Brad Lambert. Brad obviously on the receiving end of that big hit. So do you have updates on either of those 2 players?
Not really on Chaz. I don't really have an update there so much as he went to see a doctor, and we haven't seen him back here since. So I think he got back in late last night, so we'll probably see him later this afternoon. He'll probably come in. Yeah, Brad was on that end of a strong hit, and he's still recovering from that, but recovering well. So he skated this morning as well. So that'll be a day by day.
Is that a concussion issue that he's dealing with?
Yeah, he I don't know if it was classified a concussion or not. He just didn't feel great. So we're making sure that he has the time and going through the right amount of time of rest before he comes back. So I don't actually know if I didn't read anything where they said it was a concussion.
And so, realistically, he's not likely to play this weekend for you guys against Grand Rapids?
That's hard to say. Not the first game anyway.
Just want to quickly ask about you, Von Rody. How beneficial is it to have a guy, who's refereed in, over 1,000 games, to have that guy here with some of these younger centers who are still continuing to learn how to properly take face-offs and sort of learn that way of the game?
Yeah, he's done a great job, Vaughn. He's done 2 things real well. He's brought professionalism into the face-off circle, like where you have to battle every face-off and not just let some go to the wayside. But he brings in that, and he's also he's built some relationships with those centermen about face-offs, and they like talking to him. So and of course he drops the puck like actual referees drop the puck, not like a coach drops the puck. So that's nice. But he's done a great job, and the players like him.
Back home, obviously some practice time to kind of get things reset. Then you got 4 against divisional opponents, 11 straight against divisional opponents. So opportunity to gain some ground. How do you see things have gone for you this week and getting set for the weekend?
Yeah, obviously not the way we planned on having the last weekend shape out there. The team's on a little bit of a rough stretch right now, and we really got a band together in that room. We really liked our last 2 practices. We thought we weren't tense, trying to push the pace, battle each other, prepare ourselves for games. And with that being said, we're just preparing. We're preparing for the weekend. We know what's ahead of us, like you said, divisional points ahead of us, and we're still in a race here. So we're going to work this week. We're going to prepare, and we will be ready for the weekend.
It means to your group to get a guy like Villahinola back for however long he's going to be back.
Yeah, big. Billy gives us a lot of confidence. Obviously, we know what he can do on the ice. He's fun to have around in the locker room, so we're excited to have him down. We know he's going to do big things for us and help us out a little bit while he's down here, and we're going to make the most of it.
How much did that next man up mentality just have to kind of be a reality for any hockey team, really? But you guys lose Brad on the weekend. You don't have Chaz right now. So that idea of guys stepping up and when there's an opportunity to do so.
Yeah, to be honest with you, Dave, I think everybody in that locker room has to step up right now. We know the position we're in right now. Like you said, like we've been saying, it hasn't gone the way that we envisioned it going, and that's to nobody's fault but our own. So every single guy in that locker room has to be better, and we're going to keep pushing each other and finding that accountability as a group to gain that consistency.
I mean, you're a guy who comes from a very successful junior program, so losing streaks are not something that were really part of your DNA. So how is it that you've handled it? How do you adjust to something, like you said, that you wouldn't be used to, but obviously at the pro level you have to kind of learn about it?
Yeah, it's just getting thrown into the fire. I'm pretty sure every guy in this room, or a lot of guys in this room, have been through rough stretches in their careers, whether it's personally or as a team. I think it's just a matter of banding together. Like I said, it's never easy. It's not fun when you're losing hockey games. We're here to win. We get paid to play. The stakes in junior or other levels aren't as high as they are in pro, in terms of contracts and all the other factors. So team success leads to individual success. I firmly believe that, and we got to find that as a group here.
Individual success. How do you feel your season's going overall?
Just being a sponge, learning, keep growing, come to the rink every day, work hard, see what happens.
Yeah, let's just start with obviously you guys are on a bit of a stretch you're not happy with, but what have you seen from this team during the stretch that shows that you guys are maybe ready to put it behind you?
I think there's a lot of good things. I mean, our D zone obviously has to get better. I think we are creating chances in the O zone, but obviously getting back to the puck and kind of out-battling our opponents down low. And I think sometimes we over-track a little bit, but I think we had a great week of practice here and hopefully turn around against Grand Rapids.
You lose guys like Brad or Chaz, it has to be a next man up mentality. So how are you guys reflecting on that and looking at this as an opportunity for guys to step up and take a bigger slice of the pie, if you will?
Yeah, it's obviously tough to see those guys go down, but I think we're a pretty deep group. We're obviously young, but there's a lot of guys who are going to step up, and I think we got Bonjo back here, so I think he's going to bring a lot to the lineup, and yeah, it's going to be a good weekend.
How have you seen the practice? I mean, practice can sometimes be drag on a little bit and be a little tiresome, but it seemed like everybody's energy level was quite high today.
Yeah, we put a lot of emphasis on practices this week, and I think we're unhappy with that. We were kind of talking about raising the standard, especially in the situation we're in with, I think, 7 straight losses now. And yeah, I think our practices were really good this week.
From your own perspective, how do you see your development so far this year?
I think it's been all right. I think obviously a bit of a rut here, and I think I started to shoot the puck a little bit more. I think if I continue to do little things well and be good in the dot like I've been all season, I use my speed, I think the points will come.
Who do you use as a kind of sounding board? Who here is a help to you, saying, hey, it's your first year as a pro. These are some of the things you're going to be able to learn from.
I think Reichs. I think I've been a roommate with him the past 3 road trips, and he's taught me a lot. I think he's a very good individual on and off the ice, and yeah, he's been a great teammate.
You talked about your play in the dot. How much has Von Rode helped with that? I mean, he's a guy who's got so much, NHL experience, lots of time coaching you guys. But what does he sort of bring to the table and help you and the other centermen?
A ton. I don't want to give up any secrets here, but yeah, it's been awesome to have him around. He's been a huge help for us. I think we struggled in the beginning of the season, but I think we're upwards, 55% in the season as a team, so it's been really good.